proud to present over here on this precious occasion. I, Raj Shukla, a third year BLLB student, along with Shubh Nayak, second year BLLB student, would be the host for this insightful plenary session. I welcome you all to the 30th Asian Criminology Conference. As technology has evolved, so have humans and their motives. With rising use of technology, the crimes have taken a new form with a multiplier effect on the society. With regards to this concern and ways to try answers to various questions and problems, the theme of the 30th Asian Criminology Conference is Emerging Trends in Technology and its Impact on Law, Criminal Justice and Public Policy. Technology is an evolution which can be used either as a tool or a weapon. Emile Durkheim stated that crime is a necessary evil and therefore the evil updates itself with time. The issue of security, as with increased digitization, cybersecurity incidents have skyrocketed, causing massive socio-economic losses to society. Areas of cybercrime, online scams, cyber-terrorism on one side, and use of tech to instigate and abate other crimes has raised questions with respect to law, justice, and public policy. It has raised questions with respect to redundancy, applicability of implementation of policies for public protection. Now, since crime needs to be resolved by the people, we are here to enter into a discourse to try and get a better understanding on crime, justice, and technology. For the same, we have with us three esteemed guests on as our honorable speakers for this plenary session.
It's the right time to commence the much awaited 13th Asian Criminology Conference with the first plenary session. Cyber, a word that has been into use since last 1 decade. Cyberspace, cybercrime, cybersecurity has undoubtedly been one of the most important dimensions on which humans' personal and professional life is based. Because of its incredible utility, it has been integrated into almost every aspect of our lives. This raises the issue of security. Security of personal data, including all the activities that one performs. And therefore, we begin our first discussion on cybercrime and cybersecurity, challenges and solutions. The speaker on this particular topic is none other than Honorable Professor Krishnan Bhaskar, Director of our esteemed Indian Institute of Information Technology, Manipur. Sir did his PhD from Anna University and has been playing a key role in the educational sector since last 30 years. His area of interest and expertise has been science and technology. The Royal Institute of Technology, Stockholm, Sweden awarded him the title of docent for research accomplishments in the semiconductor materials technology in 2001. Sir aims to bring the University of Excellence in Arts and Science through the reforms in administration, curriculum, active research and development of collaboration with international institutions. I hereby request our Honorable Saira Gori ma'am to please felicitate respected Bhaskar sir with the memento as a token of love. Thank you ma'am. Thank you sir. I hereby request Honorable sir to please enlighten the audience on challenges and solutions to cyber safety and security. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Yeah, good morning to all of you. Let me first thank the organizers for having invited me to share my thoughts on cybersecurity, cybercrime, some challenges, solutions and opportunities. I would like to wholeheartedly thank Professor Tilgaraj, the President of Asian Criminology Society, who has been constantly driving me to come over here to talk on this topic. Thank you so much. And I thank the other speakers also who joined with me to enlighten on this particular important area. And as you know, I come from in northeast, which is having a border of more than 500 kilometers with the Myanmar, and it's a porous border. Lot of security, physical security threats apart from cyber security threats also. And when you look at the institute, and you see that there is a relevance to the conference and also the present topic. This institute has been established in the year 2015, and our vision is to have world-class excellence in information technology, and with particular emphasis of establishing an institution of excellence in cyber security, cybercrime, and digital forensic. Okay, that is the thing, and we are trying to actively work with various institutions in the country who are already experts in this particular domain. You know, the Manipur and Gujarat is very relevant. The Gujarat can have the gateway to the west, and then the Manipur can be the gateway to the Southeast Asia. If we cater the needs in this particular domain, both Southeast Asia and also our neighbors in Gulf countries, I think we are contributing nearly 50% of the global population in this particular area of domain. Just to briefly tell about the institute, we have, it's just as you, from the title of the institute, it is information technology. And therefore, we have computer science and engineering and electronics and communication engineering. There are two disciplines. Of course, we have PG programs and PhD programs, and we are also having artificial intelligence, data science in VLSI embedded system, because today the government of India is also giving a lot of emphasis on semiconductor related technologies, because whatever you must talk about the computer and the cyber physical system, and you need to have a technology to develop devices that will happen only through electronics and communication, where we talk about very large scale integration and embedded system. Therefore, they should work in tandem. We need to have devices, we need to use them in communication, we need to protect those devices, and therefore it all an integral part when we talk about in communication. Okay? And of course, we are also planning to introduce BTech Computer Science and Engineering with specialization in cybercrime and cybersecurity, by involving our students about more than 40 credits in a semester, so that they go with a computer science engineering degree with a specialization in cybercrime and cybersecurity. You can appreciate during my course of presentation that today the market demand for the people, for the technocrats who has both the areas combined, the programming and also the cybercrime and cybersecurity related areas. Okay. And I think since yesterday, including during the inaugural session, the Chief Justice of Gujarat High Court and also one of the honorable speaker, the Vice Chancellor from Calcutta, Chakravarti, they were touching upon the cybercrime and particularly how the artificial intelligence can be used to overcome or to prevent and to find and the cybercrime related things. Okay, and I think from the cybercrime, it is a very fast growing crime that also you can understand in one of my slides. Even in countries like India, it's very high in number. It's increasing day by day, and therefore when you talk about the cybercrime, and it is much more dangerous than the physical crime, because you can harm remotely by using your the computer related IoT technologies. Okay, and then these are some of the areas where these are very vulnerable, like healthcare related. Okay, your CT scan machine can be hacked also because it is directly connected to your computer. And your manufacturing sector, today we are talking about robotic and automation in the manufacturing sector. The entire assembly line and production line can be hacked. And financial services, I think some of you would have been, at least few of you would have been already victims of this kind of financial services by sharing certain things. And of course, the government, I think you would have also heard about how the Pentagon has suffered because of the entry of the Chinese invasion into the system. And then in transportation, and tomorrow, because already, you know, when you talk about the aviation sector, where you talk about autopilot and so on, and tomorrow we are talking about using artificial intelligence, we are talking about a driverless automobile system in the country. Okay, if it is going to be there, again you have having a driver. And then from the security point of view, there are a lot of gadgets are involved in defense related areas. That is another area. But when you talk about the crime, the biggest, the culprit who does is our computer. Okay? The computer to commit a real world crime, and it can involve in cyber terrorism and also the financial frauds. And the same computer can commit the crime, and the same computer can also be a target. Okay, that is how the problem when you talk about a new technology. Because when you talk about targeting a computer, you have a lot of hacking and denial of services. You flood the computer so that the computer gets hacked, and then it will not work. And you see some of the slides related to this. Okay? And when you talk about a cybercrime, this can be an identity theft, ransomware, denial of services, virus dissemination, computer vandalism, cyber terrorism, online fraud, software piracy, forgery, malicious code, malware, phishing, spam, spoofing, and defamation, and so on. Okay, these are the list continues like this. Okay. And when you normally talk about identity theft is because you share the data. I think many of you also, when you want to change the profile password in your banking, and it will ask what is the date of birth of your mother, and what is the date of your birth and year of birth. And suppose if all the data are available, and somebody, if they have an access to your profile password, I think your bank account will become empty. Okay? And today we are more working on digital signature, and then in eye security areas we are also talking about biometrics. The biometrics can be a fingerprint or the iris of your eyes, and these can be also tapped, and then you can have access so that you can have impersonation of those things. Okay? This is called an identity theft. And then ransomware is basically to delete all your files, and then it get into your system, and then try to, I think the first ransomware is VX Cryptor, that was the first one. And then when you talk about briefly, you can see that it get into your system and try to access all your data and try to delete all dot files. Okay? And then once the file is encryption is completed, then it will demand for the ransomware. Okay? That is how this ransomware will work. Okay? And then now you see that there is called a kill chain. The kill chain is a military term used to define. Because when you talk about military, you can see that there are several things are involved, like reconnaissance, weaponization, delivery, exploitation, installation, command and control, and the actions and the objectives, which are about 7 phases are involved. In any physical kind of defense delivery also, or defense prevention also. The same thing, the bug can get into the computer, and then it can go stage by stage and then make an attack. Okay? And there are two kinds of things. One will attack, the other one is a defensive mechanism. Therefore, you should have a defensive mechanism for the cyber security. You maybe the offensive things will go and attack that will lead to the cybercrime. Okay? Therefore, we need to understand how these bugs are attacking your infrastructure. Okay? And then yesterday, I think the Honorable Chief Justice of Gujarat also had a concern about a drone. And drone is today a nightmare when it comes to cyber security. Because the drone can drop a payload on the top of this building, and then it can have control of the entire building. And then how can we drop? And you can see that the drones can also pass through the geofencing by operating manually. Because if you want to operate remotely, and with normally they use a GPS, but if you want to operate manually, you don't need GPS. Just a drone get it to the top of the building, and then you get access in all secret information. It's very dangerous when it comes to the financial sector and also when we talk about the defense system. Because the drones are available from $10 to $10,000. And the payload can be dropped from small few grams to even up to 50 kilograms. That is the kind of capability drones are having. Because drone is another emerging area apart from the cyber related things. Okay? And that is why people are very much concerned about these drone related technologies. And then as you can see that the cybercrime statistics, as I mentioned, it's keep on increasing. I think when it comes to the number of crime incidents, and they are exceeding. For example, it is the data in 2020 and the statistics 2022 it is given, and you can see that the states which are involved in highest crime is Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, Assam, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. Happy that the Gujarat is at least in the list in the lowest, and of course many states are doing well. Okay. Of course, when you have more and more activity, and you will have more and more threat also. Okay. When you progressively developing also, the threat will be also very high because you are using lot of this IoT related gadgets, right? And then this is the reason, and I think this is a little old data, and you can see that already this social media has penetrated into more than 30% to in the when you talk about 1.3 billion people, and you see that already more than 40 crore, close to 50 crore of people are using this different types of social medias. Therefore, obviously, everyone who uses the social media is vulnerable for cybercrime. Therefore, it is duty of every one of us, being a knowledge power in this country, to protect these guys so that they will not have these kind of cybercrime related issues. Okay? And then normally when you commit, somebody has a cybercrime, I think Government of India has a portal, and then you will go and report in cybercrime.gov.in. Okay? And you know, the country like India, I was talking about more than 40 crores of people are using the social media. Everywhere, somewhere or other, you can see the crime. And then the crime can be a smaller one or bigger one in terms of financial terms, in terms of other related things. Therefore, to consider the manpower, do we have sufficient manpower to solve this issue? That is a big challenge. And I just shared my one experience, just what has happened just last week. It so happened to be a coincidence. Okay? And then, because when you look at, I think it's not clear, this is an RTA report sent to Government of India asking for certain details about my colleague. And you know, the name is given as Professor Dr. Krishnan Bhaskar, and then IIIT Manipur. That is the name is given. And then they create an email ID like IIIT Manipur 15@gmail.com. And my colleague scared and worried because as a director of the institute, I have all the data access. I need not go for an RTA, where I have every right to ask for clarification, even to suspend and terminate also if there is a big crime, whatever he does. But some stage guy impersonating my address, creating an email in my phone and asking about my colleague. Okay, that's what happened. How do you get this? Because somebody in the RTA portal of Government of India, Ministry of Communication, registered is discompliant, therefore RTA is generated. Therefore, that ministry person is responsible there. He forwards through an email attachment to my colleague asking for details. Since this is the detail is pertaining to the institute, he comes to me, sir, somebody is doing like this, what shall we do? Then I wrote back to the Ministry of Communication because they are also nodal agents for the cybercrime related things, they develop technology. Because suppose if you are sending a mail directly to me, I can find out what is your IP address. Okay, you cannot escape. But he has registered in a RTA portal, therefore only the person who maintains the RTA portal knows where the IP address is coming. But the person who has forwarded the mail, he doesn't have the access to the RTA portal. Therefore, I wrote a mail asking for the IP address detail. But you know, the guy has replied back, sir, we don't have access for the IP address. You just reply it because once reply is posted in the portal, then RTA is closed. Okay, but you see the kind of deformation if they are trying. This is one small example. Okay, then I have to register this cybercrime. And then this is the cybercrime data about explaining all those things, what has happened there, this happened. Then when we contacted the local IG of cybercrime, and we told that we have registered. Sir, it will take some time, sir, to come to us. Why don't we make a physical complaint about this activity? No, this is a very small one. Suppose if it is more vulnerable and it is the life is involved, or if it is a financial fraud, then think of the hassles the people are facing to run after these crime-related agencies. Okay? And now again we made one more physical complaint to the local police, and then they said that they will try to, because the police only they will get an access to the IP address. Maybe they will investigate, but it will take time. Because the reason is, I am not trying to blame the system, because the system is not well equipped. The technology is not well available. We do not have a large number of competent people to solve this problem then and there. That is the biggest challenge. Okay, when you look at in India, today we have very good ecosystem when it comes to the startup companies. We have very good startup ecosystem compared to the rest of the world, including United States. And that is the reason why we have more than 69,000 of startup companies, and then more than 100 are unicorn companies. They have more than $1 million investments. Okay, and if that is its case, and if you want to meet the manpower demand for this 69,000. I think my time is 20 minutes. Huh? Okay, we need to have nearly at least 1 million world-class engineers. Okay, and do we have 1 million world-class engineers? Okay, that is a challenge. And then we are very good. We are the inventors of zero. We are the inventors of the pi. Because when you talk about this criminology-related applications and the computer-related application, you need to have good mathematical skill. Okay. We are known for good mathematical skills by birth Indians. That's why still today we are the top when it comes to the software related technologies. Okay, when you have these kind of skills, how to capitalize? And this is very well emphasized in the Government of India New Education Policy 2020. That means we have to create a good foundation in the schools. Because the school children, if they have a good foundation in mathematical skills and also disruptive technology. Because sometimes, the word disrupt, yesterday pointed out, is a negative word. I think we have to look at, in Parliament also there are a lot of trials about the negative words. I think instead of talking about the words, we should talk about the context. Okay? And these disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning and data science, and if you give a good exposure to the school children, when they come to the higher education where they can conduct a good research so that they can come up with their innovation, novelty, and so that they can make a product. Okay? Therefore, we are in the right path. And therefore, the problem in this country is your large population, and then you have lot of socio-economic imbalances. And therefore, the affordability of good quality education, wherein our IT, IoT technology will play a role, so that whatever technology available in one particular part can be accessed to the remote areas using your augmented reality and then the virtual reality related efforts. Okay? That is, if you are in the right path. If you are in the right path, we can meet the world-class talent. And this is the various opportunities, the front-end, back-end related technologies. You can see that when you, in another 5 years, if you want to hire a software engineer who is having a 4-5 years experience, you have to pay at least 1 crore annual basis if it's a good program. That is the kind of trend is going on. There are very well demand. That's why you can see that more and more higher education institutions are shifting towards computer science. Maybe it may go because today we have a market demand, but for the country it is bad because we also need other areas. Okay? Everywhere this software related, AI related things are. This is what I started. See, one more point when you talk about this the investors, startup ecosystem, and you see that only 30% investment comes from India, remaining 70% comes from US, I mean the Western country. That means whatever technology which are going to develop using these kind of startups, that means the 70% of the data is going to be outside this country. Therefore, when it comes to the security threats of this country, it's very vulnerable. Therefore, it is high time that we increase the investment so that we solve those problems. Okay? And this is the sector wise. And then you want to develop world class talent, and that can be done by collaborative research. Just one example. You know, normally when you talk about Google, we think that there are millions of people are working in Google. But in reality, we have only about 27,000 engineers are working. Because these 27,000 engineers are highly paid, they are all the well talented. That means when you have a well talented manpower of 27,000 and you can create a revenue base of $270 billion with a capital MCAP of $1.5 billion, and it's a good, reasonable 50 billion free cash flow. That is the kind of thing can happen if you have a good manpower. That is, when you compare in terms of economic terms, it is more than the Sri Lankan budget, Sri Lanka, country like Sri Lanka. And similarly, you look at the Tesla. It's very fast growing. The year-on-year growth is more than 70%, whereas Google is 40%. Because why they could do it? Because they have an excellent talent. They try to attract excellent talent by paying huge salaries. Okay? And therefore, the same thing is being done by China. What China does today, whoever works in frontier areas of technology, they try to attract them, and then they offer a remunerative positions, and then they steal the technology. According to the FBI, and you can see that the statistics says every year they are stealing about $300 billion to $600 billion related to the technology. For example, if I am working in the AI related to cybercrime, and the China, if I am a Chinese origin, they are willing to pay whatever I want, so that I go back and develop the technology. Therefore, international trade, the China is not complying with the international law, but being a democratic country like India, we have to follow the international rules and regulations. You have to compete with the neighbor. That means the challenges are much more. China can do it, but we can't do it. Okay, that is the reality. Okay, this is what the China want to do. But there are so many programs to attract the talented persons. Okay, and these are the various actions we have to take. And then we have to create center of excellence. We have to invest in deep technology. And then only you can see that only A-class players can hire A-class players if you have a good quality manpower. If you do not have a quality manpower, you may be an A-class player, the company may be A-class, but if you do not have a good talent in India, and you end up with hiring a Z-class player. Okay? Then you can see that what will happen, the effort causes bozo explosion in companies, then it will not be a sustainable global. Okay? These are all the cybersecurity related things. These are the cyber physical systems involved in the cybersecurity. Yeah, these are the cybersecurity, various things involved in cybersecurity, starting from anti-virus wall, secure payment, mobile security, security padlock, and so on. And these are the various cybersecurity type of attacks. For want of time, I am just rushing. Of course, you can always contact me. And this is how you can have your security levels. You can see that there should be 4 levels before they try to hack your computer. And these are the 4 different areas where you can protect your system by having different layered defense mechanisms. Okay? And cybersecurity is a challenge because it's vulnerable, and you have a lot of things, as I mentioned, like message-to-message communication, vehicular and hard network, power grids. Think about a nuclear threat and nuclear backfires. It's much more dangerous. There are so many government initiatives, and still there are problems. Government of India invests a lot of money also to have a strategic research program. Detect, deter, protect, and adapt. Okay? These are the buzzwords being used when it comes to cyber security. Okay? And then these are the various thematic areas we have to work partnership with various institutions. And this is what a problem when it comes to education, research, and consultancy when it comes to product development. Okay? And then there is always a gap between the industry and academia. We have to fill the gap. And when it comes to the academia, we will be only at level 3, but when it comes to the industry, they are expecting at level 9. Unless you reach the level 9, your product cannot be commercialized. The problem with the academic is you go up to level 3. Yeah, just and most of the academic institutions involve up to level 3 because we do not have a proper academic and industry partnership. There is a big gap. It needs to be addressed very well. These are some of the challenges. Because normally you do some research and you want the company to have that research. The company requirement may be something else, but you do something else. Unless you have a good academic partnership, I think these are some of the models already available in Japan, France, and US. Some of them we have to learn from them and see that every academic institution is partnered with an industry so that you understand what the industry needs. Industry also understand what is your edge over compared to other institutions so that we work hand in hand so that you develop a technology. Okay? These are the various challenges. This is what AI enables cybersecurity. I think I need more than 1 hour to complete my presentation, but unfortunately, so today we are talking about AI because my institute is also working a lot of things related to AI related things. And then there are good things, and today AI is becoming a mandate to protect most of the companies already. Most of the major companies they are involved, and then they also have securities related insurance policies also to overcome these kind of cyber attacks and cyber systems. I think I skipped these slides for want of these things. These are the various jobs are available, and then when it comes to these are the various physical systems involved from data storage, transmission, and to the end user. Everywhere there is a threat. You have to see that the threat is overcome. And then when it comes to the cyber security, you need to have so many skills. If you are having these kind of skills, and you can see that this is the kind of salary package is being offered, particularly this data universe. It's a very highly demanding area when it comes to cyber security. Okay, with these few words, I stop here. I thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity. And there are a lot of challenges and opportunities. We all should work together along with the industry to see that we excel in this area. I think we have a lot of potential. We can do it, we will do it. Therefore, we need to have reformations and we have to reform, perform and transform. Okay? I think we will do for this global. Okay, thank you so much. Maybe any short questions with the permission of
after the sessions.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, I took 5 minutes more.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful and powerful speech. We are sure that everyone attending this session would be in a better position now to understand the cyber threats and protect and secure themselves in the cyber world. Before moving further, I request all the participants to maintain that decorum in the room and let the participants' voice be heard till the last. Now, I request Honorable Saira Gori ma'am to please felicitate Professor G.S. Bajpai sir with the memento as a token of love. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I would also request you to please felicitate Mr. Palvinder Singh sir with a token of love. Thank you, ma'am. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." This is the fundamental principle of restorative justice that drives the modern criminal justice system. Forgiving and healing are therefore the solution to crime and punishment. Following the path of Mahatma Gandhi, we need to end the crime, not the criminal. Our criminal justice approach should be an approach to justice that seeks to repair harm by providing an opportunity for those harmed and those who take responsibility for the harm to communicate about and address their needs in the aftermath of the crime. On these lines, the next topic of discourse is enabling the criminal justice system for forgiving and healing. The honorable speaker for this topic is one of the most respected and honorable professors, Dr. G.S. Bajpai, Vice Chancellor, Rajiv Gandhi University of Law, Punjab. Sir's area of interest has been law, crime, criminology and victimology. Sir holds master's specialization in criminology and criminal justice, a doctorate in victimology and a postdoctorate in criminal justice from Leicester University, UK, as a Commonwealth Fellow in the Department of Criminology, Leicester University, UK. He is the President of the Indian Society of Victimology and is a lifetime member of our beloved Asian Criminology Society. He is equipped with more than 30 years of professional experience as an author, researcher, teacher and administrator. He has been appointed as the convener Committee for Reforms in Criminal Law set up by the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, which is tasked with spearheading the historic terms and reforms in criminal laws in India. He has authored 21 books, monographs, more than 50 papers and more than 50 op-eds in the leading diaries like Indian Express, The Hindu, etc. His books include Witness and Criminal Justice System on cybercrime and criminal law, situational crime, prevention and crime reduction. Sir, I request you to please address the gathering and enlighten us about the unique way of enabling the criminal justice system by forgiving and healing.
Thank you for this opportunity. I am grateful to the Asian Society of Criminology as well as GNLU, and especially my very dear friend Shanta Kumar for inviting me to this gathering. And I can see that predominantly the hall is filled with the students. Hello students, good morning. How are you? So I'll try to make this presentation very, very interesting for you. And you will realize that there would be some very significant takeaways from this 20 minutes. I will promise that I will not exceed the time limit, because if I have to say that duration is good enough, and you will definitely have some takeaways. I'll begin with some very important thing, that we are into a very important gathering of the Asian Society of Criminology. The idea is that we should discuss some of the ideas and propositions which are evolving, emerging and significant as far as criminal justice discourses are concerned, as far as future criminological directions are concerned. And therefore, one area that I am trying to focus in this discussion is, I am talking forgiveness. I am talking the salience of forgiveness and healing in the criminal justice system. This idea looks very contradictory, given the fact that the kind of times we are passing through, where criminal justice system is growing more and more retributive, where criminal laws are becoming harsher and harsher. And I am talking forgiveness, where police is being provided excessive power under UAPA, when harsh laws are giving way to rehabilitation and other soft measures. So because I am standing in the land of Gandhi, and we are forgetting that Mahatma Gandhi was the proponent of forgiveness, and he was relevant and he is relevant. He was relevant and he is relevant. I am saying this because these days we have a number of developments in our places where we think that there is a possibility of exercising this. So I will start with, we all know that forgiveness in the system of criminal justice, how it relates. So I have three parts. In the first part, I will take you to the idea of forgiveness in criminal justice. I know it is very difficult because our conditioning is such where violence is maintained, expected, nurtured and institutionalized through criminal laws, through our institutions. And we are very violence-loving people. I'm telling you, we believe in retribution being a solution to a variety of grievances that we have. We are given to the belief that punitive measures can resolve our grievances. And I am talking forgiveness in this context. Let us see, and I am saying not hypothetically and not philosophically. I'll take you direct to those two very, very significant books. You know, dear students, you know that we always read 10 places you should visit before you die. You know? So I believe that I'll tell you one very interesting book. 2 years ago, Martha Minogue, the Dean of Harvard Law School, she has been researching forgiveness as an option in the criminal justice system. And she wrote, When Should Law Forgive? Please look at this book, and I don't have time to elaborate what she says, but she has an amazing perspective to convince us in this era of retribution about, I'll return to this work. And second work, which I will refer, Martha Nussbaum, the law student knows, those who are studying jurisprudence. Martha Nussbaum is talking about anger and forgiveness. Now, both the books take us to two very interesting dimensions, and I'll take you through some of those ideas. So my first remark is, the operation of criminal justice cannot be limited to being a tool of revenge. Rather, it must promote empathy, harmony, by way of humanizing the relationship between offender, victim, and society. So, you always feel through your knowledge, through your study, that we have created a law whose primary job is to take revenge. But we have not been provided with this insight that can law have a function of healing? Can law serve to restore the broken relationship? Have you ever thought of what is the capacity of law? Because we are perpetuating litigation. Yesterday Chief Justice was discussing that we are perpetuating litigation, and litigation is giving rise to a culture of conflict. And this culture of conflict is very, very punitive in nature. So now, can we envisage criminal justice being capable of healing? And it really helps how to repair the broken relationship. Now, restorative justice system is working. So if a person is punished for 5 years or 10 years, does it serve anything to the victim of crime in terms of healing and in terms of restoring those broken relationships? I'll give you a very simple example. We have Prevention of Domestic Violence Act. But this act penalizes and doesn't restore. So probably all social legislation that we have brought, we have inadvertently placed our reliance on that idea. But I am talking criminal justice system because there is a resurgence of retribution in society as well as in criminal justice system. Please look at this. And I am telling you, you are a law student. If you are making a black letter reading of law, then you are actually mistaken. Let us look at the contextual understanding of law, where we can look at how the criminal justice moves. So for me, forgiveness is a human value, and philosophy is different at individual level and altogether different at institutional level. Individual can be forgiving, but not the institution. So at an individual level, you feel like forgiving the people. But at an institution, the same degree of forgiveness will not be there. That is another very interesting issue. Now, as I am saying, let us map some of those contradictions which are inherent in our criminal justice system in the context of forgiveness. One thing is that I am saying, we have brought a punitive orientation to our laws. We have not created laws through which we can probably restore the things. Second, it has a retribution slant. Third, we are driven by crime control urgencies. 2 days ago, I was in a discussion at my university where we were talking about the wrongful prosecution and wrongful conviction. You know how many innocent people are behind the bar? per year in the US, more than 10,000 people are exonerated through Project Innocence. This number in India is far higher because the kind of criminal justice system we pursue, there is every likelihood that even innocent persons are trapped. But we do not have any, because we have not created any diversion channel. So therefore, I am talking about the crime control agency, because in this country, people will happy if police is arresting more and more people and sending them behind a car. That is our idea of criminal justice system. Our idea of criminal justice system is not at all to create positive process through which the relationship are stored and healing processes are promoted. So, we as a human being react very typically in this country. If suppose an incident happened, suppose in this city or anywhere else, a terrorist incident, and if the news, so people are generally annoyed, they say that there is too much of lawlessness in the society. But if police makes 5 arrests, we are happy. But who are those 5 people? In any case, we are very arrest-hungry society. Police is a arrest-hungry society. 2 days ago, CJI said this, and you see Satyendra's judgment last week, Supreme Court. They are saying, why are you sending people behind the bar unnecessary? This is very important trend. As a criminologist, as a law student, you must look at the contextual understanding of it. And therefore I am saying, forgiveness can and should exist within criminal justice system as one of the options. I am not saying that forgiveness can be given without entitlement. It will come with a price tag. But it has to, because we are a very strange society. We give death penalty and we give mercy. Both. We have maximum security prisons, we have open prisons. We have stark contradictions as far as criminal justice system is concerned. Forgiveness in the context of this system cannot mean simply letting offenders off the hook. That is not the idea. Without being held accountable for their action, rather, forgiveness can be seen as a part of healing process for crime victims. Now, I take you to another idea. Forgiveness draws from the notion that criminal harm is primary. Why I am advocating the idea of forgiveness? Because the nature of criminal law and criminal justice you need to look at. Forgiveness draws from the notion that criminal harm is primarily a violation of public norm and community sentiment and not necessarily a harm against the individual. So criminal law is a public law. So when public norms are violated, it is the duty of the society to come into action to see what can be done. It cannot be done like a tort law where individual becomes the whole sort of actor into moralizing of the. But current discourse on forgiveness in criminal laws require that victim is not coerced to forgive and offenders are not pushed together for apologies. Both ways. It cannot be forced. Individual may feel pressure to relinquish their own anger. Now I'll take you 2-3 things. When I'm saying nature of criminal justice system, 2 things you need to look at. The state somehow created a system which is lawyer-driven, where lawyer-driven system monopoly minimizes the role of offenders, victim and community. We have not created a system where victim, offender and community come on the driving seat to decide the course of justice. We have created a lawyer-driven system where lawyers and state agents take the driving seat and they divert the system. Yesterday there was a very good conversation during the dinner when we were having how the cases are maintained, perpetuated, prolonged. I'm telling you one very important and crucial things because I'm a scholar of critical criminal law. I always say when we have problem like pendency, like delay, like corruption, I am not a simple believer of the fact that they are the product of destiny or they are the product of the esteem. These problems are maintained because when you have problems, certain interests are served. A lot of people want the problems to be continued. Because when the problem continues, their interests are maintained. You know, it's a bigger critique. And critical thinking and critical methodology is something which I am trying to convey to you. If you understand that, this is very important. So try to look at the why of the law rather than what of the law. I am saying that police and lawyers take control of the process from the moment of crime reporting, and they forbid or discourage offenders and victims to have any contact or anything to discuss. And therefore I say in adversarial process it is a tug of war, and victim and community members play very little role apart from perhaps locating some basic thing. So I would say, as a matter of very important conclusion, that forgiveness doesn't fit into most of the traditional justifications of the punishment. And if this is the theme, then let us see that what does it involve? It actually involves overcoming one's resentment of an offender. So there are certain benefits when forgiveness is exercised for both the victim and the offender. I'll not prolong this argument because I know that there is a time limit, but I am saying forgiveness involves internal emotional change as far as victim is concerned, but it also expresses itself in action. So to be meaningful, the victim must also manifest it by, cancelling or limiting the moral debt and repairing his breached relationship with the offender. So this means that forgiveness requires surrendering one's personal resentment, that is not taking the offense very personally. Because criminal justice need not be so cold, abstract and impersonal. The question is, this is the Asian society of evolving. We need to redesign, revisit and reimagine the criminal justice system and its priorities. Unless these thoughts are wise, I know there are discomfort when these thoughts are expressed. But I am saying something very important, even from the offender's viewpoint, because why should offender even want expression of forgiveness? There are many things. When forgiveness happens, it is very important from the viewpoint of offender's rehabilitation and the moral validity of the offender and all those things. I come to straightway to the more refined idea which emerged from Martha Nussbaum's critique. Martha Nussbaum was reacting to a case relating to Naroda Patia case 2012. You all know, it is from Gujarat. In Naroda Patia case, Martha Nussbaum wrote, because this was a communal violence act in which 93 people were killed, and a lot of people, even including one minister and very powerful people, were prosecuted. However, the court decided not to give them any death penalty. Their punishment was drastically reduced, and therefore Martha Nussbaum wrote an article in the Indian Express. Please read that article. When is forgiveness right? When is forgiveness? See, Martha Nussbaum is a noted philosopher. She is reacting to an incident that happened in Gujarat, and she is assessing the extent to which the court was correct in terms of reducing the punishment. But Martha Nussbaum is saying a very different thing, especially what I am talking. She is saying something which is very interesting. She says, she addressed the question whether there was any room for forgiveness and reconciliation after the Naroda Patia judgment, along the lines of experiments all over the world to explore non-punitive responses to wrongdoing. So Martha argued that there was not. She said she didn't agree to that judgment. She said resentment at wrongdoing was perfectly appropriate, and a precondition for forgiveness is that. She is saying forgiveness will come with a condition. And what is the precondition? She said precondition for forgiveness is that the wrongdoer acknowledge their wrongdoing and undertake not to perform it in the future. Neither of these conditions had been met by those convicted of the massacre. Thus, she concluded resentment is what the victims and those who share their outrage should continue to feel and express. And more justice and more truth is what they should pursue. So she said that alternative view of why justice requires that wrongdoers suffer. She said wrongdoers must suffer. Some wrongs involve the diminishing of the victim's status. Because some wrongs are such where the status of the victim is detrimentally impacted by dominating or humiliating them. In such cases, punishment is justified as a way of correcting the status imbalance. I'm just concluding in 2 minutes. Every crime creates a status balance because a powerful person is victimizing the weaker person. And the job of the punishment and the legal instrumentality is to ensure that this imbalance is rectified, and anger towards such an end may be intelligible, indeed well-rounded, but Muslim suggests it should not be praised, for it involves a preoccupation with domination and control. Aims ought not to have value. So I am leaving you with this thought, and please research the extent to which, and in cases in which, forgiveness can become a great, one of the options, because we are choking our criminal justice system. Anywhere 40% of cases in this country are not required to be processed through the courts. And since we are choking the funnel of the criminal justice system by way of processing every single case, and therefore we are becoming very, very inefficient as far as criminal justice system is concerned. So I am talking these days, I am researching forgiveness, I am researching happiness in law and happiness in criminal justice system. I think these are some novel and very great ideas. This land of Gandhi, this land has been very, very, special for some of these ideas which foreign scholars are researching. So it would be a great takeaway for young scholars to look at this forgiveness jurisprudence which is emerging. There's lots of writing. So I would call upon that you please look at. And thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for such an interesting and a thought-changing speech. You have put in front of us a new and a very positive method to end the crime. We are sure this would have opened a new area of understanding and a research area on which all the participants would love to work. To take the session further, ICT is a field that is ever evolving, and with evolution in time, the threats to technology has evolved. Cyber safety concerns have emerged as a new field of contention in this era when unique ways of crime has been emerging via technology. Some of the major criminal and cyber crimes are phishing, ransomware, distributed denial of service attacks, botnets, identity theft, cyber stalking, email and SMS scams, among others. The above background quite evidently reflects the threat that cybercrime possesses throughout the world. It's high time everyone, irrespective of age, must understand the basics of cybersecurity and the need to have a security wall in form of cybersecurity against cyber threats. Therefore, the last topic of the session is a live demonstration session on security threats and the need for understanding cybersecurity in all sectors. The Honorable Speaker joining us is Mr. Palvinder Singh, CEO and founder, Sequinius Technologies Private Limited and Ethical Hacker, Bangalore, proving the positivity and power of technology as a tool and not a weapon. Sir is colloquially known as a cyber expert and is well versed with cybercrime and safety. His own venture has played a major role in providing cybersecurity services throughout the country. The emphasis today will be on the rising threat of cyber law, followed by the unique solutions to overcome the same. Sir, being a technologically most literate person among everyone, will be the go-to person to protect and preserve your cyber data with minimal threat. The presentation will focus on law as a tool over weapon. Sir, I request you to undertake the live session on security threats and need for understanding cybersecurity in all the sectors. Please.
First of all, very warm welcome everyone up over here, and very thank you for the committee members. Very thank you for the respected Latha ma'am, Saira ma'am, Mr. Tilak sir, for such a great opportunity, even for us, even for the audience. In today's session, everyone are going to light up regarding the cyber security, what crimes are happening nowadays, and trust me, after this session, you will be really shocked to see, and it will be very learning session for you, how you guys can get secure yourself. And I hope many of you guys will be having a doubt, like when it's come to the ethical hacker. Wow, so today we are going to hack some Facebook. आज होगा किसी के Instagram पक्का, right? So in today's session, you obviously will be getting to know how secure you are, how vulnerable you are, and what all things you need to verify before accepting any link, before making any UPI payments. And everyone is using so many digital devices, and trust me, this session gonna change your mind. And after this session, every time when you will be clicking a link or opening a mail and visiting any website, trust me, you're gonna remember a name Palvinder. Because the whole session, what I will be showing you up over here, it's all about the practical demonstrations, and I will show you in a real time. Trust me, I'll destroy my system, but main thing, your learning should be there. And I'll show you some real-time examples up over here. Let's start. So in this entire session, what all things we will be learning? Yes. I guess you guys forget to give me a connector for this one. Yeah. So this entire session, all learnings will be like you will be getting to know something what cybersecurity we mean by, what all things comes under the cybersecurity. So you might be thinking that my phone is the main objective. Everyone would be having one thing in their mind that I want to secure my mobile phones. Couple of people would be sitting here, they would be thinking I want to secure my Instagram, I want to secure my Snapchat chats, I want like my email ID should not be getting hacked. But trust me, cyber security is already at next level. The objective, the goals, what you are there, like you want to secure your personal data, but things, many of you sitting up over here, I will show you live. Many of you sitting up over here, their passwords I will show you over the internet. Your passwords, your mails, your data is already lying somewhere, but you will not trust my words, don't trust me. I will show you the live demonstrations, how you need to get secure and why you need to get secure. Let's begin a session. So let me give a quick idea. Can I have a pointer? I guess they forget to give us the connector printer. Okay, no problem. Yes. Perfect. So let me give you an idea from where, what is my actually a background, from where I am coming. I am called as an ethical hacker. I'm also, we guys are providing the security services, security services to the companies, organizations. We want to secure their websites, their networks, so that no cyber attack will be there. So coming directly from Punjab, and big thanks to the team members and respected teammates over here for just enlightening so good knowledge upon here. You guys are very lucky that you are getting so many things at single platform. Trust me, when we guys started, it was not so easy. We need to surf here, surf there to get so many things. And in this entire session, yes, thank you. I hope it will be working now. Yes, thank you. Okay. So let's come up. Cyber security. When it comes a word in our mind, cyber security, immediately it starts. Oh, cyber security means something called as hacking, something how we need to get secure from the attacks. And if I call the word cyber security, many of you will be thinking, I want to secure my WhatsApp, I want to secure my mobile phones, email ID, my Facebook account, so that it won't be getting hacked. But trust me, the level now the cyber security is required. If I ask anyone up over here, will you guys ever adopting a cyber security services for you? Anyone? No. Anyone yes or no? No, because you guys would be thinking that cyber security is only for IT companies, right? Cybersecurity is only for those companies who are running their servers, who are having their like some web applications, some website, mobile application. But I'll show you the real time. Everyone sitting up over here needs a cybersecurity. Everyone sitting up over here, and we'll show you the live one. How it is there. Like, let me show you the very first of all myths. Like what all the expectation of you are here like for the cyber security. You might be thinking Palvinder is here like entering something, enter and hack, right? But it is not like that. So even the movies you guys have seen, like in the movie scenario, you've seen like the guy sitting and press enter, the red links are getting compromised. Press enter, some network is getting compromised. Press enter, all system control in your hand. It's not that easy. It is possible, I'll show you the live also, but it is not like press enter and getting a hack, right? What cyber security we have to do in this scenario, we have to secure your mail accounts, we have to secure your web application, but now it is also moving to the next level, something called as an AI, IoTs. I hope you might have heard of AI and IoTs also.
Yes, sir.
Right? Any example anyone can give me from here for AI and IoT in real time? Yes, very great. Great. Anyone else? You guys are using an Alexa, you are giving some instruction and it is moving according to you. Any other real-time example?
So the chatbots.
Chatbots are there, yes please.
E-commerce platform.
E-commerce platform, very great.
Deepfakes.
Deepfakes, very nice, very great, good. And now I showcase you. Now, right now, no one is saying I need a cyber security. I don't need cyber security service, right? But I'll show you one quick video and showcase you why it is going to be very important. And after that, I'll explain you what AI and IoT mean by in real time. I hope everyone have heard of some the new techniques regarding driverless cars,
Yes, sir.
autopilot systems. Now, how driverless car will be working, and it's already there in US and Canada already. Some company has launched a car. All companies are there. You have seen my Mercedes are there, Audis are there, Jaguars are there, Google is there. All are working on driverless. But have you seen any car in India working driverless? Why so? Roads. It's like imagine a driverless car. How a driverless car would be working? It would be having some sensors. If any object is coming in front of a car would be getting stopped, right? If there is any object, if there is any red light will be there, car will be getting to know red light, just stopping, right? When pushing a brake, no driver will be there, but there will be a program depending upon the objects. It will be coming around, it will be stopping and it will be moving. But now, why it is not easy job to launch a car on roads? Yes? The very first and important factor, every company, maximum IT companies has already launched such a cars, but that cars are already in their showrooms. Why it is not possible to launch a car? The big threat is security. Imagine, we all are sitting in a one car. I hope it's not possible, but just imagine. We all are sitting in one car, no driver is there. We just are filling a destination, kahan pe hame jana hai. On the way, while we are moving from one place to the another, the car got compromised. Compromise means getting controlled by some hacker. Imagine, no driver is there. You guys are sitting on the back, and car is doing auto direction, and you know we have to take a left, and the car is taking right in some other direction. क्या कर सकते हैं ऐसी सिचुएशन में? वो कह रहा सर दुआ भाई आज पंजाब आगे से नहीं बैठ रहे, right? You can't even ask the driver, why stop. Car automatically will keep moving, right? And now imagine, let me show you one quick video. After we will gonna proceed. What all comes under IoT and AI? And after this, you will realize how important it is to go for cyber security for everyone. couple of minutes back, when I was asking you one query, how many of you would be going for the cybersecurity? And like almost everyone sitting up here, cybersecurity is not for us. Now imagine we guys are shifting towards this smart world. Many of these devices were working with an internet. What IoT is all about? IoT is nothing, just a simple definition if I want to give you. It's like if I want to control these lights, instead of turning on from the button on off, I will be using my mobile phone. These lights will be connecting to some internet Wi-Fi. My phone is also having an internet. I can control from my mobile phone. If the lights, fans, any electronic or electrical thing is getting controlled using an internet, that is something called as an IoT. Right? But when these devices like lights are there, fans are there, AC is there, when these are getting auto on by looking on the daylight, or it is a night time or a daytime. If it is a night, automatically the lights are getting on. If it is a little dark, the lights are getting on. If the room temperature is little high, the ACs are getting on. Like if these devices are taking decisions by their own, then we simply call it as AI. And very fast we all are shifting to such devices. At our home, I hope everyone of us are having something called a smart TV. At our home, almost everyone is using some UPI payments. At our home, we guys are using some Wi-Fi enabled devices called as CCTV cameras. At our homes, our parents are using a mobile phones and even us. Are you sure your phone's data, your mobile phone's data is not traveling anywhere? Are you sure that you guys are clicking a picture? Either you are clicking a picture of this conference hall, or you are clicking some picture for your friend or someone special. Are you sure that picture is only traveling to the person to whom you are sending? Imagine if that data is getting leaked. There was a term, right? Many of you were like, if I will talk about my grandparents, still they love to go to the bank and sign a checkbook and get a payment from there. When it comes to my parents starts using ATM cards. When it comes to me, I start using UPI payments. If you guys are thinking about, if I will start using an internet banking, and if you guys will be using Google Pay or some UPI payment gateways, that means you are creating a vulnerabilities for yourself. That's totally wrong. If you guys will not be shifting on new technologies, that means we still are on a level of signing a checkbook and doing the work. We have to move with the technology. If we will be stopping ourselves from using these tech things, only thing that we need to take care, that is, while using such platforms, some points, some security measures you just have to follow. While getting an ATM card, right? You almost, I hope everyone sitting up over here are using 2 ATM cards, at least. Maybe some are having 3 or 4 some credit cards also. Imagine while you guys are using an ATM card, simply called as debit card or a credit card, did anyone get an instruction from the bank guy who's delivering you the card, what to do and what not to do with that card? No. We just get an ATM card, we keep using in the ATMs or some swipe machines. Do you know what attacks and what challenges you can face with that card? Do you know without your ATM card is in your pocket. Without having that physical card, I can make a payment from that? It is possible. It is possible also without your ATM card PIN. And many of you would be thinking, sir, what about the OTP? I am again going for that without OTP. But we are not sure about that. Until or unless कोई live demo ना हमारे सामने आए. If I show you some live demo, ये देखो payment होगी ना. Right? And imagine, we all are. How many of you are there like Android user, iPhone users? I think almost everyone. Yes or no? Anyone using some Nokia 3310? Some black and white. Oh, ma'am is very secure here. So we are having some good secure people here who are still using this one. That's absolutely fine, but I can show she is having iPhone 14 Pro. No. Right, she's already having a good phone. But imagine, we all have to shift up on the technology. Now, I'll just one quick portion up over here. Right? So now, some attacks are there, like what the devices which we are using. Some social engineering attacks are there, phishing attacks. They don't go for the technical term. I hope it would be complex, but I'll show you the light. इनका मतलब क्या है, कैसे ये होते हैं? Very first, let's start from the very easy one, social engineering. What it is all about? How many of you have received one WhatsApp message? You won some KBC 25 lakh rupees recording. How many of you have received? Can you please raise your hand? Wow. You can see a lot of people. You might be getting a call from the guy, sir, I am a bank manager. Your card is expired. If you want to renew, just you have to follow some few steps. And आपको बैंक आने की जरूरत भी नहीं है, वहीं से हो जाएगा. Right? And some of you would be calling, the latest trend is going on. Some of you would be calling, or you might be getting some advertisements on the social media that I am some government officer. My transfer is done from one place to the another. I want to sell the things, and that cost will be very low. You might be getting some notification. I have seen some attacks from North India also. Like you would be getting a message that your electricity bill has not been updated.
Yes, sir.
How many of you have received? Wow, great. जिनको नहीं है वो भी आ जाए. Right, because these things we can't stop. Every day some new story will be there. Electricity bill का क्या आ रहा है? That आपका bill update नहीं हुआ. If you don't want to get your connection disconnected, मतलब मैसेज आएगा आज रात को 9 बजे आपके घर का electricity disconnect कर दिया जाएगा. And if you want to solve this matter, connect on this number. जो ये communications हैं, like the messages which are getting delivered to you, the new stories are being delivered to you, your electricity bill will get disconnected. You get some even you guys are law students. Many of you would be getting some messages like there is some XYZ case. You don't want to be having anything. You might be getting some clients like this one. Yeah, again there is some case. If you want to solve this matter, contact this Delhi High Court some XYZ person. And that guy is not an advocate, but he will be just creating a matter of urgency, fear, scarcity, डराएगा. ये आपके अगेंस्ट तो बहुत ज़्यादा वो केस है कि आपको सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा अभी. Otherwise, some like arrest warrant is there. It could be any story, but in the end of that, every story there will be some attack. Either they will ask you for your credit card details. Either they will send you a link. You might be getting some gift voucher. They will be saying, 1 minute में आपका बिल पैसे अकाउंट में आ जाएंगे. They will give you some very good amount, 20,000, 30,000, anything. And it could be like they will send you one link. कि सर पहले check कीजिए. If you are getting money in your account, they will send you the link of 1 rupee. Once you click on that link, that 1 rupee will be coming in your account. आप bank balance check करेंगे, आप statement check करेंगे, and you will see that money is coming in your account. Then the other guy will be sending you one link, and it would be with the 10,000. As you click on that link, वो 10,000 आएंगे नहीं, आएंगे. And हमें लग रहा होता है कि नहीं यार we आज तो हम 10,000 की लॉटरी जीत लेंगे. Right. Let's start up with a very easy one. How many of you are having a Gmail account or any email account? I hope everyone कोई ऐसा होगा नहीं जिसका नाम. Now, are you sure that your email account has never been hacked? You guys are using from since long. Now, anyone who's very sure, imagine, look on the results. We guys are using something, it's like, I'm having some money in my pocket. Am I sure that no one is stealing that? If my answer is that, pata nahi. How bad it is. You guys are using your Gmail. some Yahoo, some Hotmail, some official mail IDs. Are you sure that has not been hacked? Should we check it out? Check, yes or no? How many of you want to know if your mail ID is hacked or not? I need some volunteers. I need 3 or 4 guys, come up here. Yes, please, go ahead. Let's check it out live if your account is really secure or not. Yes, please, great. We got yes, please come up. Great. So now, yeah, your good name? Your good name? Vidhi. So we're having 3 people, 1 more is here. So we will check live and you all guys can do at your home and even after looking on this demo, how you guys can be very sure if your email account is really hacked or not. How can we verify? So you are having an account on facebook.com. Can you come up on this side? I guess some camera guys there. You can come up on this side. Yes. So you are having an account on how many websites? Facebook.com, Insta, Snapchat, no. Some log websites will be there on which will be following and creating and kuch aisa. Correct. You are having an account on how many websites? 5 or 6. I guess more will be there. Zomato will be there. Domino's will be there. Some more will be there. Correct. How many of you are having? Many obviously. Now imagine we guys are submitting our details. If we guys have to create an account on facebook.com, again repeating everyone, if we have to create an account on facebook.com, while creating an account, what all information we have to provide to Facebook? Very first, email ID, second, name, mobile number, password, date of birth. Imagine I am a Facebook. If you guys are creating an account, you are submitting details to me. That is in this hand. Right? I am saying, okay, you guys can give me details, I'll keep with me. Are you sure this Facebook is not leaking your data? Are you sure the Zomato that you are using, the Ola cab that you are using, that Domino's you are using, that Instagram you are using, you are giving your personal details to them? Are you sure that guys are not leaking your data? Many of the companies, one big example, Domino's, suna to hoga? How many of you have ever ordered a pizza from the Domino's? Oh, give us a baat Imagine last year kya hua? Yes, thank you. Last year kya hua? Everyone who ever had ordered a pizza, मतलब इतनी लाइफ हिस्ट्री में जितनी सारी डोमिनोज कंपनी है, आपने कभी भी डोमिनोज पे ऑर्डर करा पिज्जा? What all details do you have to provide to Domino's while ordering a pizza? Name, address, घर पे तो आना है जैसे आप भी एड्रेस भी मंगवाएंगे, फोन नंबर, एंड पिज्जा कौन सा खाना है? Wow, Jesus, right? And now last year क्या हुआ? Domino's companies get compromised. Hacked. The guy who hacked that website, he leaked all data on internet. Imagine if I want to see the address of any of this guy or anyone who ever have ordered a pizza, I can put your phone number and आपके घर का address. पूरा I can get it. इसमें गलती किसकी है? Just tell me, whose mistake is there? Is it your mistake or Domino's? Whose mistake is there? Is it your mistake or Domino's? It's not your mistake. Because you just created an account on Domino's, but that Domino's company didn't provide a security to your data. And everyone sitting up over here, trust me, more than 90% people, the data is getting leaked. It's not your mistake, but with the help of some website. Some website is responsible. Let's have a look one by one of these 4, and I'll show you live इनके accounts की क्या-क्या detail is already on public. You want to know this thing? Yes or no in the last? Yeah, just energetic. No breakfast? Oh, just come up with me. I had a very nice breakfast. So that's why Great. So now I'll show you one of the grades. Yes, please come one by one. Yes, please. Yes, this is one of the great platforms available on the internet. This platform did what? पूरी दुनिया में जितने भी hacks होते हैं, the worldwide hacks which are happening, it keeps a data with it. And it just give you an option, are you a part of that data leak? Let's check it out. Can you please enter your mail ID here? Let's verify if her account, if it is green, that means secure. If it is red, yes, sure. Wow. Her account is already hacked. You can see. Oh no. Really? Can you please scroll down? And from which website? Oh my God. किसकी वजह से hack हुआ है? अभी वो कह रही थी सर मैंने कभी Domino's नहीं order करा. And imagine who is responsible for this? अब वो पिज़्ज़ा खाते हैं. And imagine, yes, now you can please stop here. What all data? You can see it. Yes, please. Yes. You can see, I hope it will be visible in the bottom, what all data is leaked publicly. Can you see the last line? Compromise the data. Email ID, गई. Name, गया. Phone number, gone. Physical address, and कौन सा पिज़्ज़ा खाया था? It is already on internet. If I spend little more time, ये details भी कहीं ना कहीं से मुझे मिल जाए. That means it's not her mistake. The mistake is of which company? Domino's. And now she can't do anything because that data is already there. And imagine, did we ever think, please in the last, did we ever think before submitting our data on any live platforms, on Facebook is there, Instagram is there, or any other platforms? Did we ever think before submitting any data? No. Imagine like how many people are over here. You can follow this website. Have I been on? Can you please scroll up? This is a good website from here you can check it out. Yes, next. I'll tell you what security measures you have to follow. Yes, please. Yes. Now we are going to check the second one. Let's verify. Yes. Oh man. Here is the one. Superman. No, Superwoman. 11 times data breach happened. Imagine. And one more is there. Oh wow, this is good guy. Good news. Good news. So I think this is your new account. Can you use your old account? Okay, that's fine. Can you please go for the next one? She's secure. Yeah, good. उसका भी account कहा जाता है, but what she did is intelligent. She uses a very new account जिससे उसने accounts अभी नहीं बनाए. Okay, let's follow this one. Oh, how many times? 2 times. The data is already leaked on the internet. Can you scroll down? What all? Oh, wow, Domino's. I think so. Domino's is popular in Gujarat. Great. Yes, the next website is there. Another he was having an account on a website called as Nitro. I guess Nitro is one of the PDF like Adobe. He might be having an account. Can you please see what all details are mail ID, name and password. Right? Okay. Yes, next. You don't want to go? Then no, sir, don't send me there. I want to go back. So you can wait. I'll try if I can show you the password also. You want me to show the password? Oh, we are all ready with the copy and pen. You can follow. Thank you. Yes. Until or unless you will not see such damage, you never gonna believe if you are really secure or not. Tell me, you need cybersecurity or not? 50% crowd is saying yes now. No, by the end of the session, 100% will say yes. Okay, let's have one great another mail ID is there. So obviously we are getting to know if the account is secure. So good news is there, if this account is secure. Great? Yes, thank you.
Can I go?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. We got a very respected volunteer over here. You are also not okay. Yes, sir. Most welcome. So should I close the project then?
No problem.
No problem. Yes, sir. You can enter. I can't do that anything. This is huge number. 6 accounts. Can you please scroll down? That is the reason I said should I close the project? Sir, can you please with 2 minutes? Can you please help? Oh, no. And sir was saying, I don't like fast food. And Domino's on the first list. Sir, first is Domino's. Nitro. Can you please scroll down a little more? Some other things are there, some collection ones, some it happened. Even it is showing you from which year? 2019, 19, 16. Can you please scroll down more? Wow. Sir, I'll tell you the security steps also. I'll guide you how you need to get secure. I guess I don't need any more volunteer now. It's good. And imagine what data is getting leaked for the LinkedIn. Email and the password. Now if I want to ask you one question, please, everyone. Another question, everyone over here. Can you please, in the last? Thank you. My very genuine question to everyone of us sitting here. How many of you are using different passwords for every different account? Don't look on the recent, I hope some of us would be saying it. So you having a different password for every different account? Except sir. And now I'll tell you one more thing. If you can answer yourself, right? If you guys are not using different passwords for the different accounts, because we are humans, we can't remember so many passwords. So for ease of you, we kept same password for the Gmail, Facebook, Domino's, LinkedIn, Instagram, Snapchat, and imagine if any single account, yes please, if any single account will get compromised out of this big list, you can see if LinkedIn password is getting leaked up over here out of this big list, I will get to know your password from which website? LinkedIn. And I will use that same password on which website? Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, iCloud, your Snapchats, every single account will get compromised because of our mistake. We guys are using same password every day. It's not only you guys, even the CEO of Facebook. Who's that guy? Right? Now, even Mark Zuckerberg did this mistake. He was having an account on LinkedIn. What happens? Any person who is having an account on LinkedIn before 2016, every single person's email ID and password got hacked, leaked, I should say, due to LinkedIn company. And everyone's password comes publicly. And what happens next? Hackers get a list of the passwords and even it comes publicly. And even Mark Zuckerberg was using same password for the LinkedIn, for the Instagram, for the Pinterest and some Twitter account. And hackers did what? They get a password from the LinkedIn and they log in their other accounts. And they posted some very nice things. So that is the reason why everyone sitting up over here, mandatory to use a different passwords for the different account. But what about this 6 scenario? Sir, what is the security steps we have to follow now? I hope maximum students sitting up over here would be having some data breach over here. But what to do next? How you guys will be getting secure now? It's already there on internet. How you guys will get secure? Anyone? Any volunteer? Anything you guys can you want to say? Yes ma'am, anything? Nothing? I say no, no, I'll not speak anything. Yes, anything? Okay. No.
Wondering one thing, that if that PDF converter is taking our emails and passwords, how come we have the security that it is not taking our papers?
They can. That is a very, very nice question up over. I'll be coming on the next slide in just 2 or 3 minutes. I'll show you. This is a very, very important question. If these companies are leaking your data, like email ID and passwords, you guys are giving a permission to the WhatsApp to access your images. You guys are giving a permission to the Truecaller to access your contacts. You guys are giving a permission to some games to access your location. Are you sure that location, that photographs, that your logs or your details are not getting leaked? This is only about the username and password. What about the other details? We'll come to that point also. This is a very trending fraud going on respected to that attack. It's called as loan app scam. You would be getting some kind of loan from the very nice advertisements running on the internet, and after that you have to pay huge amount, otherwise there is a very bad threat going on. I'll show you that. Yes. So what security measures you have to follow from here? Everyone, whosoever the mail ID is coming up over here, whatever the website is there, please change your password from every single website which is getting displayed here. If it is like LinkedIn, change your LinkedIn password immediately. If it is some Domino's or some other website, and don't use same password anymore. Because if your password is 123, it is already lying on internet. Change 123 password, चाहे आपने Gmail का रखा है, चाहे Facebook का रखा है, चाहे किसी भी account का. Whatever the account you have created and having the same password. Otherwise, one day you guys gonna call me, sir, LinkedIn नहीं चल रहा. Right. So this is a very sensitive thing which is already there. Now, another one we have. Yes. And such passwords, like such email IDs, like such passwords are also getting. This is like what we follow, like have I been conned, HIDP. Always check it out if your account is really getting leaked or not. If it is there, you must have to follow the precautions. Yes. Now, social engineering, again, just getting you in the words. No one will directly click on your link. No one will be like if I like say, okay, can you come up here and I'll enter some password? You never will gonna enter your password here. If I say, okay, you will get some something like here, you can come up here. You never gonna. But always it is having some story. You might have seen on the WhatsApp. Just yesterday I was getting some from Cybersecurity. They was giving me details. Now the people are getting links connected to some offers. It could be KBC offer, Kaun Banega Crorepati. It could be, sorry, Amazon offers are there. Now you can buy the iPhone in just 10 rupees. Yes, I have seen. This you have won, your number is shortlisted, your name is shortlisted, and there will be very beautiful link connected to that. Once you click on it, right? So that massive part is called as some social engineering. And once we click on that link, it's nothing but it is called as phishing attack. And what they will gonna do you next? You want me to show the demo live? Actually, cybersecurity is such a session, like either I am here, either some other speaker is there. There is like huge content you guys are having. If you let me speak for next 6 hours, I will be here and every single minute I will be showing you some new demo. It's having so broad content, so broad topic, many new things, many new practicals. I can keep on showing you some demos. So I will try my best to get a little time to show you some demonstration so that it should be a very learning session for you guys. Something I was on this phishing attacks. Right? Never ever click on the links which are coming by the SMS. Some fake offers are there. So they are doing what? They are just collecting your important data, your email ID, your passwords. Right? Next. Alerts regarding the WhatsApp. Is anyone there who have received a call on a WhatsApp from unknown number and the number is international and they will be pretending, hello, do you know who I am? I am some of your friend or relative. No? There is some, I hope some of you guys might have heard of, you would be getting a WhatsApp call from international numbers. They will be saying you, hello, pehchano kaun? And immediately when you get a call, they will not tell you who they are. They will ask you, hello, like they don't even know my name. And they will say, hello. I'll say, yes. Pehchana kaun hu main? I'll say, no, I didn't recognize you. Aap bhool gaye hame. I'll say, I again will think of it, who the guy is there who's calling me. He will say, okay, just remember your old friend, your relative who's living in US, Canada. Obviously, after a couple of minutes, I will take someone's name. Is it Mr. Raj? He will say, yes. Whosoever name I will be taking, he will say, yes. I am Mr. Raj. So I'm saying, oh wow, it's been long. I'd like to have a word with you. He will say, yeah, I was busy in the work, so I thought let's have a talk with you. Because you don't know my name. The talks will be in general. You don't know anything about me. And he will be keep on saying, how's the family? Everyone is having a family? I'll say, good. And then other things will be there. And even if I ask, okay Raj, how's your mother? I met him in the last week. He will not come on that point because he don't know anything about Mr. Raj. And next what he will do, he will say, I want to talk to you one very secret thing. He will be excited, oh, what is that so special? Then he will say, actually I am traveling to India. I'll say, oh wow, that's great. You will be there for sure, we're gonna have a meeting. Next part he will say, Palvinder, will not take my name. Next he will say, I want to transfer some money to you because I can't take cash with me. I will send you 10 lakh rupees in your account. Just keep listening to this story. And this is a very nice scripted one. What he will say, I am coming to India, I am transferring some 10 lakh rupees in your account. And once I'll end up in India, I'll visit your place and get the money. And I'll also bring some good goodies for you, some laptop or iPhone matlab, and I will get more attracted towards that. And immediately next thing he will say, okay, can you please give me your account? When I will give my account, he will convince me because giving an account is not an issue. We can give that as a public. We can give to someone. But now I will send my account details, my name, my account number, my IFSC code. That 3 details are enough. I will send to him. In next couple of seconds, he will send me one receipt on which he gets to know my name now. He gets to know Palvinder is the details. He will send me one receipt that 10 lakh rupees is transferred to your account. It is a Photoshop. And I will think, wow, your 10 rupees, wow. And very next second, I will get a call from one guy who's pretending to be bank employee. And he will say, sir, I am calling you from the bank, main branch, just simple main branch. Your account is credited with 10 lakh rupees from USA. Do you want to accept that money or reject? Tell me what I will say. Obviously accept. He will say, okay sir, so this is a bank verification call and this money will land in your account in next 2 to 3 days. I will say, wow, that's great. Nothing, I didn't give any OTP, I didn't give anything, that's fine. And immediately next minute that pretending Mr. Raj will call me. That I get an emergency in India, one of my friend needs 50,000 rupees. Can you Palvinder transfer that 50,000 rupees to some other? I didn't get any 10 lakh rupees in my account. I'm just believing it will be there in next 2 to 3 days. And he will create a matter of urgency. There is some accident, there is some criminal case, there is some ticket booking fees. Please can you Palvinder transfer 50,000 and you can deduct from that 10 lakh rupees. And what I will do, I will transfer that 50,000 to other case, and because I am imagining that 10 lakhs will be there. All it is fake, the bank guy is the partner of that Mr. Raj, they both are sitting together and just doing this thing. And once I transfer 50,000, then he will gonna say, okay, I need little more money, 70,000. Again I will be thinking 10 lakh minus 50,000, 950. 950 minus 70, still 88 something. Right? And I keep transferring money until or unless I didn't recognize that this is a fraud. And such cases has been already seen at many places that people have a victim of like 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, and after that they get to know this is nothing. This is something called as fraud calls via the WhatsApp. And if you ever are receiving any WhatsApp fraud calls like this one, sorry. Yeah. If you ever are accepting any WhatsApp calls like from international numbers, never accept that, especially if it is an unknown call. Because some cases has been seen also, you will get a video call on a WhatsApp, and if you are like some girl or guy will be there, as you will accept that video call, something bad will be going on. Your face will be there in the video call, and something bad will be going on in that video call, and they will record a screen for 5 to 10 seconds and they will send you back. And that is something called as an extortion, and many WhatsApp cases have been seen there. And how it is possible to get the numbers? If I am in India, is it possible you guys to get a WhatsApp number of the USA? Yes or no? Yes or no? Now people are thinking, oh, I want to say yes, but Palvinder will show again the demo. Yes, it is possible. Even in India, even at any part of the planet, person can have a free numbers of international, USA, China, Pakistan, Russia, any country. And I'll show you. And if I have to register a WhatsApp, what are details I need? If I want to register with a WhatsApp number, what I need only OTP. OTP is required, and OTP directly will be there. I'll show you one line. Yes. Yes, you can see it. Some websites are there who are directly giving us maybe some project ratio, right? So websites are there directly giving you numbers over the like online. You can register using Facebook, register using WhatsApp, and many things are possible. Right? So this is like the trending things, the trending attacks. Let's come to the security part. I'll just take 2 minutes, then we'll wind up. How you guys now get secure? I showed you many things which was gonna create a like wow, how it is possible. Now how to get secure? Just note on one website. Very first of all, do you want to know? Are you like using your Aadhaar card? How many SIM cards are working? Maybe your Aadhaar card is getting used and someone else is using the SIM card. Note on your website from where you guys can get to know. It's TAFCOP, TAFCOP. You can find how many phone numbers are registered using your Aadhaar card. This is the Government of India website, TAFCOP. Sorry? So you have to verify your number. It's a government website, very near, right? Right? So you can verify from there, and in case if anyone is getting victim of any cybercrime or anything, there is a one very popular number 1930. Always go for the registering a complaint there 1930 in case if anyone is getting a victim. Avoid opening any files which is coming suspicious, any links, anything. Right? And I guess this should be the I should wind up the session, otherwise they're gonna pull me out. Right. And so I hope I have done with the session. So if you guys are having any queries, I guess queries will be after the session. If you guys are having any query, you guys can ask anything. Yes, please. Yeah, I'll give actually projector is true. I don't know why it is so. It is getting this selfie. Can you please check the table? I'll showcase you it. Disconnected from now. Yes. I'll just give it. I'll give you my cards and I'll announce them. Yes, you guys, in case of your any queries or you want to get in touch with us, for sure you can just note down the mail ID, sir. Yes. Right. So you guys get in touch with us, you can note down the mail ID is Alvinder. PLVINDER.S. I have that. It's it. Yes, this. PALVINDER.S at Secunus, SECUNEUS.com. So I guess we should wind up the session for today. For sure, we will have many more sessions like this one. And in case you guys are having any queries, any doubts, you can ask. So I should thank you so much, everyone, for your warm patience up over here. Sitting up over here. Thank you so much, everyone.
cybercrime and a need to have a safety measure to protect the same. I now request student coordinator for the session, Sani Bush, to give a vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. With this, we come to an end to our plenary session. We hope everyone had a great time here with various takeaways. I sincerely thank Honorable Professor Mr. Bhaskar, Professor Dr. G.S. Bajpai, and Mr. Palvinder Singh for taking time out from their busy schedules and gracing us with their presence and imparting us with so much knowledge. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you everyone for your kind patience. I would request the participants to please stay seated. I would like to request the organizing committee to escort the technicians.
Thank you.
Good concept. You have to develop it more.
Dear participants, kindly note there is a change in venue. Participants, kindly note there is a change in venue. The presentations in 1.10 and 0.10 have been shifted to Vitan 1, the room right beside this orientation hall. Instead of 0.12, the presentations will be conducted in 0.8. I repeat, participants kindly note, instead of 0.10 and 1.10, the dignitaries and the presentations will be held in Vitan 1. For the presentations scheduled in 0.12, the venue will be 0.8. Further announcement, I request all the participants to note that there shall be no rescheduling of your sessions. Kindly make sure that you reach to your classes on time and your presentations are completed on time. I request you all to understand that for so many participants and so many presentations, if you miss out on today, it may be really difficult for us to accommodate you at a later point. In addition, I would also like to inform you that in case any of your friends are absent, kindly inform them the change in venue. For participants who are not paper presenters, we shall be beginning the lunch at 12 o'clock in the room below library. So I would request you all to join us for the same. I now request the participants to kindly proceed towards your assigned rooms for your tracks. Thank you very much and hope you have a great time. Thank you.
And please go to your respective classroom for your tracks.
Kindly go straight to your respective classrooms for your tracks. The tracks shall be beginning at 11:30 sharp. Please take note. Kindly disperse. Thank you.
One is Vitan 2, which is in the admin block itself. Another one is the orientation hall, which is right here. And other than that is 0.11, 0.6, 0.9, 0.12, and 1.10 in Shishya Bhavan, which is codes are there. Other than that, it's 1.8 and 1.9 in Shishya Bhavan. It's ground floor and first floor. 1.9 is Shishya Bhavan.
1.9 is first floor. 1.9 is first floor. First floor. Here, first. Not here. In the academic. Not here. In the academic block. Academic block first.